Now it's the moment I've been waiting for this week. I'd rather not have seen it. But we are going to talk about The Forest. We're going to hear from Natalie Dormer after this clip.
What's going on?
I'm going to Japan. The police think Jess is dead.
What?
Apparently, they have a forest in Japan where people go to kill themselves, and Jess went into it.
Sounds like exactly the kind of place your sister will go hiking for fun.
Rob, she's my twin. She's in trouble, and she needs me.
She always needs you. She makes a bad decision, and you clean up her mess.
I don't know, Rob. It feels different this time.
So Sarah is the first of the two identical twins that you meet. She seems to have everything going for her. Overachiever with a good husband, good job, good house. And she gets a phone call to be told that her more wayward, slightly rad sister has disappeared off into the Okagahara forest underneath Mount Fuji. And she goes in search of Jess, who is more the one that has been wilder. I enjoyed playing them because they're both sort of textbook examples of how you can go opposite ends of the spectrum when you've suffered a trauma as a child. The one that's deeply repressed and the one that has faced her inner demons and is sort of gone a bit crazy by them. So it was fun to play both those women who have had that experience.
Natalie Dormer there talking about The Forest. Can we talk about that clip for a second?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's if you hadn't guessed, quite early on in the film. That's kind of it. That 30 seconds. That's just pure exposition. Where are you going? I'm going to find my sister. She's missing. Why? That seems like the kind of place she go to. Oh, it's horrible. It's really bad. I hate that bit.
That did sound like a really dumbed down kind of film.
It is.
From that.
I promise you it really is. But we'll get to the rest of the dumbness. If you hadn't already guessed, we hate this film, The Forest.
Yeah, so The Forest is first time directing job by Jason Zada. So Natalie Dormer, who most people recognise of Game of Thrones, really talented actress. And in this, it's safe to say it's not one of her finest hours. Now, basically, she plays sister twin, and her other sister twin.
That was like
Jess.
Orphan Black there, Sister.
Twister. But our other twin Jess has gone missing in the. I'm going to butcher this name, aren't I? The Aikagara Forest. Or Akagara Forest,
Akagara.
which is the suicide forest in Japan, and supposedly it's haunted, and you should not go in there, otherwise you'll be tormented. She goes to Japan to try and find her missing twin.
I'm going to find my sister.
Yeah, and save her from whatever spirits and bring her home, essentially. It's as a horror film, it feels in every single way massively. It's just not scary.
Nope.
It's not dramatic.
Nope.
It has every cliche in the book.
Nope.
And it's poorly
Yes.
made. So really, what has it got going for it?
Two characters that are distinguishable only by hair colour. It has, and I know you have disagreed with this in some sense, Ryan, but sort of the use of Japanese schoolgirls.
I mean, I can understand
these kind of horror films that just are racially insensitive because they have nothing else going for them. I mean, if anything, it's probably caused a bit of controversy towards the film, and that's kind of like, yay, publicity, all publicity is good publicity. It's a shame that when they get to see the film, it is just derivative and dire. It goes through all the tropes of Cabin in the Woods, like, you know, it's got all the monsters, all the various stuff. It's even got a cabin in the woods, and you kind of think, at which point are they going to pull the rug from under the feet and go, "Ha, look, see, it's ironic and we're self-aware." It never does that. It's one of the most horrible films I think we'll see this year. I think Natalie Dormer will win 2 Razzies, Worst Actress and Worst Supporting Actress. And it made me wonder why these films are made, to what audience, and just how are these people allowed to make films. I think I've said this on the show before, filmmaking is a privilege. I think you work hard to become a filmmaker. To have this kind of film made for whatever budget it was made at, millions of pounds, or millions of dollars, I guess the case would be, it just seems like a slap in the face to the audience, or a slap in the face to us as potential future filmmakers, that we are never going to get, possibly not going to get things made, and these kind of things are being made. Joe, you've had the same idea about the forest. There's 2 films now about the suicide forest. Sea of Trees by Gus Van Sant that will not get a UK release because they got panned so badly, and then this, which is getting panned just badly. It's not even doing well with audiences. Everybody seems to hate it. It's charmless, witless, it's completely straight-faced, and it's absolute lunacy. And it's not even like fun lunacy. It's just bad. It's just really, really bad.
I have proof as well that I had
I
this
know.
idea
I remember
for
having
years
this conversation.
and years.
Mhm.
And they've took it and they've destroyed it, and I can't do it now. Thank you.
The worst thing is, though, the idea of the suicide forest itself, which is a real thing,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
I
You know,
think
there's plenty of potential to exploit there in terms of psychological drama and horror and sort of exploration of themes, but it just doesn't go there. It
I
tries
think
nothing
it's
interesting.
really poor treatment of the forest.
Yeah.
Dumbing it down into this sort of magical forest where you go and you cut your wrist. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not what it is. Like Natalie Dormer's sister character, I don't care. She goes to the forest because she wants to commit suicide, and then when she gets there, she gets haunted by spirits and stuff. She's not going there because she wants to like hallucinate. It kind of get the feeling that it's selling this forest. It's just some kind of like hallucinatory drug field where you go and you see things and you have a great time and obviously kill yourself.
Have a great time.
But it just rings completely untrue. It seems like this could have been a good world building experience, but it's not. It's just a place to put monsters and have jump scares, and that's the worst bit. The jump scares, like you jump and then afterwards, for God's sake, it's such a cheap thing to do. And as you heard there, the script is clunky at best. It just the gears, you can hear them turning. That clip there sells the film in 30 seconds, but the exposition never stops. It just goes on and on, as if we can't see what's going on in front of us. We're going to explain it to you anyway. Look, I'm going to go into the forest and try and find my sister. Oh, look, is that my sister over there? And then one point when Natalie Dormer falls in the hole and goes, "Da!"
Yeah.
Worse than Point Break.
But to be
Worse than
honest,
Point Break.
it's not the worst of the year because I was more appalled by Point Break
I
and
hated this
more appalled by Grimsby and probably How to Be Single as well, to be honest.
Mm.
But it was with this, there's nothing at all that I liked about it,
No.
and that is just it's irredeemable in a horror. I mean, it's not exactly not part of the course with modern horror, certainly not anymore. But I mean, there's nothing I liked about it at all. It's so poorly created.
Mm-hmm.
It's clumsily directed.
No craft.
There's no flair or no attention to the craft or the art form. There's nothing new to it at all. It's paint by the numbers as you can get when it comes to horrors. And I mean, the main form, obviously, they are the sisters, they're twins, but the way they're presented, like the way they're filmed when they're together in the brief scenes, it's laughable. I mean, it's constant over-the-shoulder shots. I mean, obviously, not everyone has the
And then,
budget
like,
for
flat,
a Tom Hardy split screen and
The
Legend.
flat split screen
You know, but
shots as well.
It's
like-
horrendous. I mean, it's snappily dialogue. I'm not snappy like good dialogue, but snappy dialogue, like fast paced, cutting back and forth between these two sisters, and it disorients you incredibly. It's really really clumsy filmmaking, and there's nothing I liked about this film at all. Natalie Dormer needs better roles than this.
Do you want the most stupid question of the day?
What?
Recommend.
I'd recommend it if the other option was being slowly drowned. But
no.
other than that,
I
no.
recommend it under no circumstance whatsoever. Do not go see
Easily
the
top
Forest.
5 worst of the year.
I think it's the worst. The thing is that I don't care to watch them again and find out for certain. I just think it is worse.
Wouldn't that be a painful task?
Oh God.
End of the year, we have to watch all our top 10 worst and find out what the real winner is.